Well, welcome back to 3P Playbook. I'm your host, Pat Wilkinson. We're here at the Knot, 507 37th Avenue South, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is your show all about youth sports, and it is springtime. And with springtime comes baseball. Yesterday was opening day. My Reds were able to pull through yesterday, so I'm excited about that. But this is a show about youth sports, and we're going to be talking AAU baseball. And I do have an ambassador for the sport here with me today here at the Knot, a good friend of mine, Coach Andy. Andy, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Pat. Happy to be on the show.
Hey, dude. It's freaking baseball season is probably one of my favorite seasons, right? Because it's the weather's getting better, especially here at the beach. You know, we start getting more tourists. I know you appreciate that as a business owner.
Oh, yeah.
Andy is one of the he owns Famous Andy's Pizza right here
yep.
in
Been
North
about
Myrtle
15
Beach.
years, sorry.
Heck yeah, dude. If you want some jam up pizza, that's the place to be. But we'll talk about that here in a second. But beautiful weather. I can already hear outside of my house. I can hear baseball games firing up. I got a softball field right behind the where I live, and every morning 8 o'clock, I can hear the chants. I can hear the dinging off the baseball bats and everything else, dude. But you have your own not only training facility but your own team. So tell me about the Myrtle Beach Marlins and how you guys got started and everything else.
Yeah, we have a travel organization. So we have age groups from 10 to 16. When I first started, we had the older age group from 16 to 18.
Yeah.
And we were just helping those boys move on to the next level. For a lot of them are now playing collegiate baseball for a lot of local colleges in the state.
Awesome.
So it's fun to be able to watch them on TV. For a lot of those players coming up, we just try to be a stepping stone for these kids.
Yeah.
Either it's middle school baseball, high school baseball, and how big of a stone is according to the player and how long we've been working with them. But we just like to be a part of that process.
Sweet. What now? Give me the age groups that you guys are running with.
Now we have 10 through 16.
Yeah.
We're actually getting ready to start. We have a huge request for 8 and 9-year-olds.
Oh yeah.
So we're getting ready to start the younger age groups up.
Nice. And what's participation like? Yeah, I mean, do you guys have like a waiting list to get into it, or?
Yeah, we have teams that are locked. You know, it's unfortunate because we try to give everybody somewhere to play.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we won't start a team if we don't have a good coach.
Right.
So, we're not going to just put a team together just to put it together. We
Right.
have to make sure that we have the right chemistry, family, it's not just putting kids on a team and trying to put them out there. So as of now, we just have one team per age group.
Okay, cool. And what does the season look like? How often are you guys playing?
We play a lot,
Yeah.
we had, like you said, being down here in Myrtle Beach, we're able to play, we don't even have to travel that much because we're a travel destination area.
Right.
So we get to play different teams all year, coming down here. So we start, I think our first tournament was March 2nd.
Yeah.
And then we go all the way to August, about beginning of August. And then
Okay.
we take a month off, and then we pick back up in the fall. And then we shut it down in the winter about November.
I got you. So pretty much year round, you guys are out there
Correct,
playing
yep.
and getting after it. How far do you guys travel? You just stay locally, or do you go anywhere else?
For the younger age groups, we try to stay local.
Yeah, right.
You get some people that try to get them to travel too much, and they're young, and they want to be able to go home and play with their buddies. As for the older kids, we got to get them used to being in front of college campuses and stuff like that. So we'll travel, to different colleges, USC, UNCW, we played at CCU many times.
Cool.
We also go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
We go down there. We've been to Florida, Fort Myers. So once you start getting older, we'll start traveling.
Nice, man. And you guys have your own place where you can practice, right?
Correct. We have a 10,000 square foot indoor facility.
Nice.
We have from weights to pitching machines to, the Rapsodo, that's a device that gives you all the metrics of, how they're swinging, exit velocity, things like that. The kids have a lot of fun with it. It's broken up to where we can have almost up to 3 teams practicing there at one time.
Yeah. Is this like a one-man show for you, or do you got people helping you
No,
out?
I have great guys helping me out there. I've got great trainers. We have one of the best speed and agility coaches in there out of Virginia Tech. We have 2 MLB pitching guys in there.
Oh, wow.
I do the infield and hitting. And then plus the coaches we have. We're very blessed to have the experience, ex-college guys, or just really good dads, man, just a part of the program that just help.
Yeah.
But I think as for every team that we have, I believe, every coach doesn't have a son on the team as for the head coach.
I gotcha. And now, what's the practice schedule like? I mean, you guys, so if you're playing year round, so first and foremost, uh, you obviously have to practice, stay sharp, especially if you're going to travel, because AAU is just a little bit different than rec ball. Rec balls and or any kind of recreational sport, you're playing for a short period of time. You kind of move on to the next sport and everything else, and it's all about getting kids in and playing and all that. Now, AAU can kind of swing the other way because you're playing a little bit more in a competitive atmosphere, if you will. And that being said, you got to stay on, especially if you're traveling, you got to stay sharp with your skills and stuff. So there's really no taking off, right? Or how? So what's the practice schedule like for you guys?
We practice a lot.
Yeah.
I teach the kids, practice till you can't get it wrong.
Right.
A lot of the kids like to practice and they get it right and they think that's it. We go
Yeah.
over and over to the point to where you can't get it wrong. So in the game, you don't have to think, you just react.
Right.
We don't want them thinking about their technique. We want them thinking about the play, the situation, but we don't want them thinking about, the stuff we go over. We want them to do it from muscle memory and just go out there and just, show off their skills.
I gotcha. And going back into the whole competitive atmosphere of things, how do you guys keep sports fun? Because the philosophy here on this show and the people that are bringing on, and we've spoken about this before, you got to keep the game fun for kids, especially at a young level or young age group, in order for them to have the desire to excel in what they're doing, and not kind of yeah, we get it. Like I said, it's still AAU ball, so it's kind of already there that they want to play.
Correct.
But you can still run kids off on that level, you know what I mean, as they're developing. So what do you guys do to keep things fun?
Well, I end every practice with some type of game.
Okay.
I've even had some, like you said, some real competitive dads, asking why I do that. And it's just exactly what you said. I want the kids to want to come to practice.
Right.
The first, we stretch, we get them loose, turn on some music. I ask them how their day is going. And then we kind of go through the boring, quote unquote, drills that we had to do every day. And then we always spice it up with some type of game.
Yeah.
And that's, and not only is it fun for them, it's a competitive environment.
Right.
To where, we split the teams up, they go against each other and they have a blast.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to end practice with. And we'll do that on the field or in the facility.
Yeah. And because, like I said, it's because I can speak as a dad, right? My daughter, she plays soccer, she plays golf, she plays basketball, and I coached in basketball. And sometimes getting them, especially golf for her, because we play golf a lot. But when you start doing something a lot as a kid, you got to be careful not to make it a job for them. And because, we'll have a tournament coming up and I need her to get out and practice and everything else sometimes, and she's just not feeling it. So you kind of have to get creative, and without the games and the fun atmosphere, it's going to be tough to get them out there and invest into that practice.
Yeah, well, I got a good quote from one of my son's high school coaches, and he said the parents should be cheerleaders, not fans.
Right.
The fans, they'll boo and cheer, right? But the cheerleaders, they always cheer their team on.
Right.
And you have to be careful, what you're doing as a parent. When you leave the field or the court or wherever you're playing, that car ride home is big.
Yeah.
I was a culprit of it. My older son, I have no problem talking about it.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I put too much pressure and as much good times we had, they'll only remember the bad times. So big heads up on that. Don't, they know they made a mistake. I believe in accountability. I believe in talking about it, but I also believe in, once they leave the field, like you said, make it fun. Go have a habit. Go get some ice cream. Like me and my son, might sound minor, but every time we leave a game, he wants to go to the gas station and get a Slurpee.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's what we do. Every time we go out, he goes get, and you got to come up with that, good game or bad game.
Sure.
Baseball is, as they say, 70% failure.
Right.
The Hall of Famers fail 70% of the time. So you got to prepare them for that. And I always tell kids mental resilience is probably the best character for athleticism. I'd rather see a player that has, is resilient mental, upstairs than being fast or being strong.
Yeah.
And being a parent, putting too much pressure on that could come into play with that.
Sure.
So you're breaking down that confidence, and that's bigger than anything.
Yeah, and the focus needs to be fun and development, and with that, the wins will come, you know what I mean? And so when I had Ken Francis, he was the first guy on the show that we had here, and he runs the Kids Under Armour Tour, which my daughter plays golf in, and he mentioned something about, getting kicked in the teeth is good. Learning how to lose sometimes is good, but he goes, he called it the shot of the day. Right, in a golf tense or golf mindset, you may have had a rough day on the course, but there was that one shot of the day. And when you're riding home with a little one or a kid, talk about, go over kind of what went right, what went wrong, whatever, but make sure you point out that shot, or in baseball sense, that play of the day or that hit of the day, and everything else. And so I like to hear you say that, especially on that ride home. It doesn't need to be, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did this wrong. I mean, yeah, point it out, that's fine. Make sure they understand that, especially if there was any kind of, behavioral issue out there, because that's with my kid, that's the one thing we don't do. We don't show our butt out there on the field, and we don't, we lock it up and we play and we have fun. But that debrief or that after action that you guys have on the way home is crucial. And so what did break it down with how do you break it down with your guys? Let's say we come off of because wins are easy, right?
Correct.
Wins are easy. We can celebrate and have a great time. But I'm sure it's happened before. Have you guys had a tough loss that you guys had to, and the kids are beating themselves up a little bit, kind of hurt? How do you approach that?
Yeah, we've took some big L's out there on the field.
Sure.
And I try to focus on exactly what you said. You hit it on the nose. Is I explained if I was playing the game, I always try to learn the game as I'm playing it. What can I do? I find something I did that day that was better than the day before.
Yeah.
Even if it results in a loss. So I try to just remind the kids. First of all, we talk as a team. So we, like what you said, we accountability wise, what we did wrong, but also trying just to keep the momentum going as like wanting them to come back, even if it's a tough loss. Like you got to be able to take a hit and get back up. And the fun thing about travel ball is, on Saturdays, you can play horrible. You can go out there, go 0-2, and you can still win the tournament on Sunday.
Yeah.
But that's the way the bracket is. And that's what we try to tell the kids is, just look forward, don't look behind. Don't let that last game, or even last at bat. We tell kids all the time, you could go 0-2 and have really bad at bats and hit the game winning hit.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to remember the first two at bats. They're going to remember that last hit. And they have to, going back to being mentally resilient is, staying in the game and, or also having an error and then trying to bring it up to the bat or vice versa.
Yeah.
You don't want it to ruin your whole game.
Right.
And that's what we try to, instill in the kids is that, you can't be scared. I always say this, don't play a game that you're scared to lose.
Yeah.
Nobody likes a sore loser.
Right.
So, expect, you're going to lose. Some of the best teams of baseball can have a bad day. So, a lot of those parents, I kind of ended with this is that they're talking about other kids and they're out there like, oh, well, this kid. I always tell parents the best advice is worry about your own kid. Because if you assume your own player, because he hears you talking about that player and it can consume the way that he's playing. Focus on your son or daughter and go out there and make it, about them,
And sometimes parents, they'll put people in a tough spot, put coaches or put the players in a tough spot with some of their behavior in the stands. And I think what's also led to, on the recreational side of things, a decrease in officials participating in sports, right? Referees, and it comes from, parents acting like they're playing for the World Series, or even like coaches. Luckily I lucked out this year in basketball. I had a great group of parents that everybody was on the same page. It was all about, the girls having fun, but not everybody can say that, and what recommendations would you give to a coach or an organizer when, I know worry about your own kid, but what do you do if you notice that the parents putting too much pressure on the kid, or if they're putting too much pressure on the team or the officials? It's a weird situation, dude, having to do that, and it's uncomfortable, but I think we can agree on that. It's something that has to be done.
Correct. And that's why I think we stand above the other organizations, and the people, why they stay with me is because we do address that. Like, I try to do it as a friend. I'll step up to the dad or mom and say, hey, you don't want to come off like that. I've been there. I try to give them that talk first.
Sure.
And if it doesn't, go away, then unfortunately, we will, we don't want anything. We don't want a cancer in the stands.
Sure.
Is what we call it, and
right.
And, and we also, don't want the parents, like I call them helicopter parents, they're going around the dugout and they're, every success or failure, they're in their kid's ear, it's just, I always tell the parents, look, once they go in the diamond, they're mine.
Yeah.
Let me be the bad guy. I'll talk to them,
right.
I'll push them. But as for, taking care of that situation, we're huge about not having that in our stands because it could ruin the whole experience for the whole team.
Yeah,
It really
absolutely,
can. Yeah.
absolutely. All right, so we're talking about practicing and the mentalities and stuff too. For the Marlins, give us the practice routine for a player here.
Well, we're big about trying to get the younger age groups in there as in having the right mechanics. So
Yeah.
the most important thing, speaking about baseball, is the throwing mechanics. And it's extremely hard to get a player at the age of, 13, 12, anywhere in that area
Yeah,
and try to fix bad habits, So we're huge with the younger kids, not even about playing. The parents always ask, when we're going to play, we want to fix the mechanics. Because if you go out there and play like that, bad habits are hard to break.
yeah, right.
So what we do is, we give them a huge stretching routine. So, I get all these stretching routine from, previous players or in college, and they come back and I'll ask them, hey, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
And I present it all to the players. I give them a lot of stretches. We go through a lot, explaining about hip flexors and getting your body ready to be able to
Sure.
perform, not just your
Yeah.
arm. A lot of people are stuck on just the arms. So, and I tell them at some point as they get older, they have to take some of these stretches to come up with their own routine.
Yeah.
If you play rec ball, college ball, whatever it may be, the ones who stand out are the ones who get there early and have their own routine
Mhm.
before they go out there. So, and another thing we do is like hitting off the tees. We teach them how to work together
Mm.
and how to have it, once again, the same routine. So when they go to these high schools and they're left alone in the cages, they know how to work themselves.
Yeah,
And like I said, like I saw before a couple of weeks ago, is one of my players working with all the players at his high school, and the father sent me the video, and I thought that was awesome.
Heck yeah,
it's
man.
these kids giving back, and and we almost want them to govern themselves in a sense, to teach them, hey, you got to be able to do this when you get home.
yeah,
We show you, but you got to take what we show you and go home and practice it. It doesn't have to be for a long time either. It could be 20, 30 minutes.
yeah, right.
But we after the stretching, we do a lot of mechanics on ground balls.
Yeah,
In fielding, like how to use your glove. I tell kids because they play a lot of video games, you guys choose weapons. Your two weapons is your glove and your bat.
yeah,
And you want to upgrade it and
Right.
upgrade it and upgrade it. And I kind of lay it out for them like that is, being able to use your glove and manipulate it forehand, backhand, whatever it may be.
yeah,
And we go over it. And it's they really enjoy it. You would think they get bored, but we always, we teach the younger kids the same thing we're teaching the older kids.
yeah,
They're like sponges. They soak it all in.
Sure.
And it's amazing to see with the right instruction. And we kind of say that the way we are, if you're not doing it right, we're going to tell you every time.
yeah,
Hey,
right.
that wasn't right.
Yeah,
Hey, that wasn't right. At the same time, be, positive to try it again. Try it again.
yeah. Did now how was this practice schedule and everything? How's that working out with your guys's in the season for you? How's our record looking?
Oh, our record's looking well.
Yeah.
I coach a showcase team, a 16U showcase team. So we haven't started. They're all playing school ball.
Yeah,
We have some really good college-bound baseball players on that team. As for my 12U that I coach, we have a winning record. Last weekend, the 11 and 12-year-olds, they practiced together.
Yeah.
And last weekend, they won 6-0 together. They both won the championship here in North Myrtle Beach.
Oh, nice.
And it's just a special group.
Yeah.
It's fundamental baseball. Mixing with some athleticism and good coaching.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. And if people are interested, they want their kid to play, or play for the Marlins here, what do they have to do? Where can they find more information out?
The best way to reach out is probably on Facebook. It's
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach Marlins.
Okay.
You just go out there and you can go on the messenger or just post something on our Marlins.
Uh-huh.
And that's the best way people reach out to us.
I got you. Cool. And, I just got this random thought. What exactly is a showcase team?
A showcase team is more where, first of all, we take players that are committed.
Yeah.
So as they get older, they get cars, they get girlfriends, and,
Uh-huh.
and these are the players that make the decisions to put the sport first.
Okay.
So those are the type of players that we take to college. Not always at colleges. Sometimes it could be at big parks.
Yeah.
But it's for the kids, getting ready to go to the next level and show. Yes, it's a team sport, but now you're able to go out there and showcase yourself.
Sure.
The directors don't really care who wins or loses in a sense.
Yeah.
They want to see, hey, how fast is that kid?
I got you.
And I always tell kids this, like they'll ground out and they'll like jog down the line. I'm like, that guy heard about you and he's trying to time you from home plate to first base.
Yeah.
Like any chance you get, run it out. And I've had some guys get big looks by laying a bunt and, a college recruiter coming up to me, man, we liked his second gear.
Yeah, right.
Meaning how fast he jumped into it off a bunt.
Yeah,
So, I try to tell these kids, it's you never know who's watching.
right.
And it's effort, being on time, being a good teammate takes no talent.
Correct.
And that's what these these college coaches, they want to see how you fail.
Yeah.
They hear you're a good player. They want to see you fail, see how you handle it, and putting them in that showcase environment, gets them in that venue, that type of venue. So we'll start as young as freshmen, going to these showcase tournaments.
Dude, I love the fact that you sit there and said that being a good teammate takes zero effort, because dude, I started one of my intentions, my commander's intent, when I was coaching girls basketball, the first thing I told them day one in practice is what makes a good teammate. And because those fundamentals, even if they go to the next level or not in sports, that's being a good teammate, the foundation for that, trying your best, being respectful to your teammates and to your coaches and everything else, that will take them leaps and bounds, right? In regards to life, whether they go in the professional field, military, law enforcement, whatever they do, having those core values, set inside of them that they have learned through sports. That's why I love sports. That's why we do this show, is to sit there and try to spread the how valuable that the lessons in life that can be learned through sports is, how valuable they are. So it's good on you for hearing that, man. I'm excited to watch. I'm gonna go catch one of your guys' games, and I'm gonna see if I can't put a clip out there, maybe go live on our social media platform, and see if we can't get the Marlins in action, dude.
I would love for you to come out.
Now, Andy, we're gonna close the show here on this, man. So the beach, we bring in a lot of AAU basketball or AAU sports in general, but something about pizza after a baseball game sounds amazing. So tell me a little bit about Andy's Pizza.
Well, we were originally from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And my dad was number one up in Philly for the Philly cheesesteak.
Right.
And he was well known for his pizza. So we came down here 20 years ago. And we're right here by the North Myrtle Beach Sports Complex.
Yeah.
And, the kids love my pizza. Every time we win, they ask, are we going to get pizza? So it's almost like a slash bride, for them to come out there. The kids love it. We do car washes out there too and pass out food. But there's nothing like coming over there and getting, our hoagies, Philly cheesesteaks, pizza. The kids absolutely love the atmosphere we have in there.
Yeah.
Definitely welcome any team to come in there and try it out.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And of course, you will always see the boys and girls in blue out here at the North Myrtle Beach Police Department. We love us some Andy's Pizza. We'll swing by from time to time. And
important big time, man.
Yes, sir.
Great job out here.
Yeah. Andy, thank you so much for being out here, man. Like I said, I will put all the links to all of your social media platforms and Andy's Pizza. Give us the address for the restaurant real quick.
Okay, it's 3300 Highway 17 South in North Myrtle Beach. And we're right there on Business 17.
Oh, sweet. Well, come see Andy over here, man. Grab you some of it, especially that Philly cheesesteak, man. I think it's jam up, dude. I've had to diet restrictions that I'm on right now has had to keep me from sucking those things down, man. But I'm telling you, they're like potato chips, dude. You can't eat just one of them. You know what I mean? So, guys, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, man.